Are you someone that struggles to get into the bed of your Tacoma, or maybe even avoids doing it altogether? Whether your truck is lifted up, has bigger tires, or due to health reasons, you can't get into the bed of your Tacoma. So we're gonna make it a little bit easier here with the bed step from Yota Xpedition. So taking a look at the bed step here from Yota X, it's going to be made out of aluminum, which is powder coated in a nice black finish, so you don't have to worry about it getting corroded or anything like that. We have a nice textured step here, so you don't have to worry about slipping when you step on this. It's going to hold up to 300 pounds as well. Comes with the brackets and the hardware that you need. You are going to be using some of the factory hardware, so let's go over some of the tools you're going to be needing to do this job. When it comes to tools, you're not going to need very many to do this job. We have a ratchet with an extension, and then you're going to need a 16 and a 17 millimeter socket. We also have an electric ratchet here to just make the job a little bit easier. This install is going to take you only about 15 minutes to do, and on a scale of 1 to 3, I would say this is a 1, meaning that anyone with basic tools can do this job. Okay, so we're over here on the driver's side of the Tacoma. That is where the bed step is going to be mounting. It does not mount on the passenger side. We have our ratchet and we have our 17 millimeter socket. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 2 bolts that we're going to be removing. Okay, so under the Tacoma, you can see where your hitch is mounting to the frame. You have these 2 bolts right here that are closer together. Those are the 2 that we're going to be removing. This is where the electric ratchet comes in handy. All right, so we got those 2 bolts removed from the Tacoma. Now we're gonna go ahead and pre-assemble the bed step. So we're gonna be placing the bracket on top of the step like so, but we're gonna be putting that spacer in between. If you line up the spacer with the shape of the bracket and then drop our bolts in and get those started. So these are going to be a 16 millimeter. We'll go ahead and tighten these up. So if you want to torque these bolts to spec, these ones here from the bracket to the bed step are going to be 33 foot-pounds, and then the OEM bolts that go through this bracket back into your frame are going to be 66. Okay, so we got the bracket mounted to the bed step, and before we get it mounted to the Tacoma, I do want to note that the step itself is adjustable. There are a couple of bolts on the bottom. You can loosen those, and then there are T-nuts that slide into some slots here on the step, and you could align this where you want. You can see you have about an inch or so of movement. Right now where it is bolted together, the step is going to be sticking out the farthest that it can be. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get this into the Tacoma. All right, so we have the bed step here. We're over at the Tacoma. We have a 17 millimeter socket, our extension, and we have our ratchet. The 2 factory bolts. So all we need to do is put this back up in place and get those bolts tightened down. All right, so we're finished up. As you can see, installation of this is pretty simple. And now you can go ahead, take your foot, pull down the step. It is spring loaded, so as soon as you're done using it, you can just kick it back up into position. So this obviously now makes it much easier to get into the bed of your Tacoma, whether you're trying to get stuff out, whatever it may be. This is definitely helpful. Now, obviously we mounted this on a Tacoma that has a factory bumper, but this does also work with most aftermarket bumpers as well. As you can see right here, we have it mounted with a Body Armor 4x4 bumper. Putting our bed step side by side with an OEM factory Toyota one, they're virtually identical. Our bed step comes in at 165 bucks, and if you guys want to pick one of these up for your Tacoma to make it a little bit easier to get in and out of the bed, you can grab it from YotaXpedition.com. If you guys have any questions about this install, you can ask us down below in the comments. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys on the next one.